President, what do you say to people who view that luxury jet as a personal gift to you? Why not leave it behind?
You're ABC fake news, right?
Why not?
It's only ABC. Well, a few of you would. Let me tell you, you should be embarrassed asking that question.
So Donald Trump is down there making it happen. And guess who's mad? Democrats.
Because the reason that that's in the Constitution is to prevent the President of the United States from accepting things that are being perceived as bribes.
What is the national interest
The goal of the
trip
is not to get a giant gift that he can say belongs to him as president, but then he takes with him when he leaves the office.
Abby, you have to distance yourself from Trump derangement syndrome. It's irrelevant to policy.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, welcome back to the Tatum Show, brought to you by Shinergy, the natural supplement company. Natural energy drink is powered by. I'm drinking my Shinergy right now. I'm almost to the bottom. So make sure you get some Shinergy today. It's all natural. You ain't got to worry about crash. We developed it with a formulator. This is not private label stuff, white label. This is borrowing a product of somebody else's creativity. This is our own formulator, Steve, who formulated this from the ground up. So we created energy so you don't have to crash. And then we also created complete energy, with you having a night drink as well. So we want you to get good quality sleep, be able to wake up with energy, have energy throughout the day. Nobody's doing this but Shinergy. All right. So go to shinergylife.com, and get you some supplements today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can tell, it's getting darker. I got this little ugly light over here, but I still got to make videos because I need you guys to be informed, especially the people that follow me. I got to keep you up to date, baby. All right, let's talk about this real quick. Donald Trump went over to the Middle East. Like, how do you not see the contrast between Joe Biden's reception in Saudi Arabia and Donald Trump's reception? It's not even close, bro. I think they had somebody meet Joe Biden at the airport. It was like a governor or something. They didn't even have the prince and all these, high profile people even meet him. They like, hey, what's up? They take him to the hotel. Donald Trump, man, they rolled out the red carpet. They had people on camels and all kind of stuff. He had an escort. Now I'm pretty sure they always escort the president of the United States, but Donald Trump was on this cool escort. I saw the fighter jets on the plane and doing all this other stuff. I mean, it was incredible to see. And like, how do we not see that the world respects Trump more than some of these people in America do? And the reason why, because he real recognized real. The dude has power. We have power and leverage as a country, but we never had a leader, and not never, but it's rare that we have a leader that understands it and that can embody it the way that Donald Trump did it. But let's get to the meat and potatoes, because I think that's what you guys want to see. He went to Saudi Arabia, great reception. He went to Qatar, a great reception. I think even he ended up in Saudi Arabia, he met with the Syrian leader, the Syrian president, which hadn't happened in 25 years. I mean, there's things that Donald Trump has accomplished in attending these things that were absolutely incredible. But let's talk about numbers real quick. Saudi Arabia, $600 billion in investment to the United States of America. Saudi Arabia pledged $600 billion as an investment, and including $142 billion in defense deals. The largest arms deal in United States history.
The Saudis had pledged $600 billion, and the president said, I challenge you to take it to $1 trillion. And we'll see whether or not that's the case. Further down the week in the United Arab Emirates, they have made a $1.4 trillion commitment to invest that amount of money over a period of 10 years here in the United States. So as we said from the beginning, this is business, Dana. The agenda is business, business, business. today.
It is business with an undercurrent of national security. I want to pick up on one thing that Hugh Hewitt said, is something that I certainly learned as my time in the White House as well, which is countries that trade together and do business together tend to get along very well. And there you have the photograph of President Trump and the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia.
Let's continue to go down. It says deals with U.S. tech firms, with Nvidia and AMD to support Saudi AI development, which is obviously investment here in America. Qatar, $38 billion in investment to U.S. defense sector, $200 billion in Boeing jet orders. So they have committed to ordering 160 Boeing jets. This is American deals being made. Let's go to Syria. Syria announced the full removal of U.S. sanctions on Syria. First meeting in 25 years between the U.S. and Syrian president. Discussions include rebuilding Syria and joining the Arabian Accords. So Donald Trump is down there making it happen. And guess who's mad? Democrats.
Mr. President, what do you say to people who view that luxury jet as a personal gift to you? Why not leave it behind?
You're ABC fake news, right?
Why not?
Only ABC. Well, a few of you would. Let me tell you, you should be embarrassed asking that question. They're giving us a free jet. I could say, no, don't give us. I want to pay you $1 billion or 400 million or whatever it is. Or I could say, thank you very much. You know, there was an old golfer named Sam Snead. Did you ever hear of him? He won 82 tournaments. He was a great golfer. And he had a motto: when they give you a putt, you say, thank you very much. You pick up your ball and you walk to the next hole. A lot of people are stupid. They say, no, I insist on putting it. Then they putt it and they miss it. And their partner gets angry at them. You know what? Remember that, Sam Snead. When they give you a putt, you pick it up and you walk to the next hole and you say, thank you very much.
Respectfully.
Isn't it remarkable how for years Republicans were screaming conspiracy theories about Hunter Biden, saying that he took bribes from foreign countries and that the United States is compromised, and now we just learned today that Donald Trump accepted a Boeing 747 from Qatar for $400 million, a $400 million gift that he will use as Air Force One while he's president, and then when he leaves office, he will use that plane in his private capacity. I mean, is that not just the most blatant bribe you've ever seen in American politics, where an elected official is just being given this multi-million, $100 million plane just for fun? And Republicans are silent about it. They scream falsehoods about Hunter Biden for years, and now we see like actual gifts being given to elected officials from foreign countries, and there's no word.
I mean, you couldn't, because it's in the Constitution.
Yeah.
You can't do this. You know, I've known several presidents through their birthdays, and you go and you bring them a present. They're not allowed to take a dumb little present.
Yeah.
Like a dumb little present.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure, but who am I? Because, they spent years, 4 years, 6 years, about Hunter Biden. Why?
I'll just say this, and I think Alyssa has the same experience. When you work for the government, you take an oath under the Constitution to abide by the Constitution, and the Emoluments Clause of the Constitution.
Please explain.
Basically says that a donation from a foreign government, or really it's almost any donation,
anybody,
it forbids U.S. officials from accepting gifts or other things of value from foreign officials without congressional approval. And in fact, the rules are, if you are working for the government, you cannot accept anything of value of over $20.
Yes.
$20 or less.
Yep.
And you have to disclose it. And you have to disclose it, even if it's like $19.99. You have to say, I got this $19.99 gift from Whoopi Goldberg. Can I just please put that down and write it down? So this is completely illegal. It's just illegal. Unprecedented.
They are making this exclusively about a jet or aircraft that was donated to the office of the president, meaning the government. And they're acting like Donald Trump is taking a gift directly from the Saudi Arabian president himself as a jet from himself. That wasn't what happened. They know it's not what happened, and they lied about it. But I want y'all to watch Scott Jennings and others literally beat them over the head. Roll the clip.
According to our reporting, some of the deals going on right now: Saudi Arabia, 2 luxury towers, Live Golf Partnership, Qatar, Golf Club and Villas, UAE, luxury hotel, cryptocurrency deal, Oman, resort and golf project.
And the dinner.
I mean this sincerely, I mean, does it bother you that this is happening at the same time that these nation states are also trying to curry favor with Trump himself?
Well, it doesn't really bother me that people are in business for years, then their dad gets elected president, and then they continue to go on in business. We knew we were electing a businessman president. We knew his family was in business. So I think the American people have full visibility into that. Number two.
But we're talking about new deals here, not existing
well, they're business
deals,
people. They're cutting
new
deals all the time.
You're okay with them cutting deals while Trump is sitting in the White House when he's going over there
countries that
to
are
negotiate
actively
with them?
doing negotiations with
We're negotiating with every country in the world every day. Well, let me answer your question, the specific criticism about Hunter Biden. All the things you just mentioned, towers, golf courses, hotels, resorts, tangible things.
Cryptocurrency and meme coins, Scott. Don't forget those.
You do something, money exchanges hands, a service is provided, a tower is built, a golf course is developed. Can you name one tangible service other than finger paintings that Hunter Biden provided for any money that changed hands? You cannot.
Now that you've seen Scott Jennings say his part, Kevin O'Leary went even harder and just dismantling this theology that everything that Trump do, they feel like they got to hate on him. Everything he does is wrong. Everything he does is an affront to America or somehow illegal, when the very things that they do are illegal and affront to America. But they project it onto Donald Trump. Nothing that he's done as far as receiving a gift from a foreign government to our government, there's nothing wrong with it. If Biden did it, but he can't do it because he's a lame. But anyway, listen to Kevin O'Leary.
And 1 second, Kevin, because you wanted to talk about you wanted to talk about Kamala Harris being mediocre. Donald Trump Jr. Donald Trump Jr. and Donald Trump Jr. and what's the other one? Eric are the definition of what mediocre is. And what I'm saying is that now they are reaping the benefits of their father.
In a different direction?
Please.
Just for a moment, please.
No, guide me. I'm blind.
What does this have to do with Middle East policy? Please, just a moment.
Oh, no, please.
Excuse me.
Oh, yes,
what does this have to do with the fact that he is trying to create a circle of friendship with the fastest growing geographies in the world before China does?
But wait a second.
Wait, let me finish.
Well,
on this trip, I just want to introduce an idea. This has nothing to do with policy.
Go ahead. I'm locked in.
What does this have to do with policy?
One thing that I've heard for the last 4 or 5 years is anytime anyone had any criticism of the United States foreign policy in Gaza or whatever, is that these people would be being paid by a resource-rich government that propped up and funded terrorism, which was over in Qatar. Every single time. They were buying influence in Ivy League schools. They were buying influence in social media. They were buying influence everywhere. So anytime you saw somebody you were saying that anytime somebody was thought to have any dealings with the Qataris, they were thought as being intellectually and morally tainted. Except the President of the United States, who takes a $400 million plane from them, literally is refurbishing it to be Air Force.
Who cares about the plane? What does that have to do with the fact?
Because it's
Wait a second.
You know what?
I don't get it. Why focus on something that is irrelevant to the policy
It's
of
not
the region?
irrelevant.
It's completely irrelevant.
How is it irrelevant?
Would you rather have the Chinese there? Would you rather have them there?
Kevin, the United States Constitution would like to have a word. The United States Constitution would like to have a word. That's why people care, right?
People care
because the reason that that's in the Constitution is to prevent the President of the United States from accepting things that are being perceived as bribes.
What is the national interest
The goal of the
this
trip is not to get a giant gift that he can say belongs to him as president, but then he takes with him when he leaves the office.
Abby, you have to distance yourself from Trump derangement syndrome. It's irrelevant to policy. It doesn't matter.
Okay,
what matters is, why are all these AI guys on this trip?
Have you heard of the Emoluments clause?
Wait. Why do you have all the leaders?
Kevin, no, seriously, it's a serious question. Have you heard of the Emoluments clause? Do you understand that that is in the Constitution?
He doesn't. No.
And do you understand that even if you think that maybe it might be okay,
how many fairies dance on a pin does not do policy.
Incredibly dubious.
So let me ask you a question.
That, right?
I'm sorry.
Let me just say, but Kevin doesn't operate by the same morals and ethics and values that we're
I'm
talking
above
about.
that. I focus
because
on
you're
policy.
so rich, you get to be above it. That's
It's nothing to
lovely.
do with wealth. It's policy, policy, policy.
All right, man. Trump for the win in the Middle East. I have to say, man, this is why we voted for him. This is why the man is the GOAT, and why he gets so much respect around the world, because he's a man amongst boys, in my opinion, when it comes to other leaders. He understands the leverage that America has. He's willing to negotiate with anybody. He actually has the talent, ability, and fortitude to do it, something that Joe Biden don't have in his repertoire whatsoever, or Obama, or Bush, or any of these other presidents. So shout out to Donald Trump for making this happen. He's just making it happen, bro. We're making waves, making money, making deals, and that's why we elected him. Comment in the comment section. See you on the next one. I'm out.